There's one word that, depending on how much we use it in our day-to-day lives, can tell us so much about how much of our lives we're actually choosing. And that word is no. So many of us find it incredibly difficult to say no to someone, that it can leave us feeling bad about ourselves or guilty when we do have to use it. So much so that in those moments we use it, we'll soften it, or we'll over-explain it, or it becomes so difficult to do that we abandon it completely. And we end up saying yes to something that we want to say no to, or tolerating something that we know deep down we don't want to tolerate. I used to be crippled with people pleasing and worrying about how it's going to land with somebody else if I did what I genuinely wanted to do. But about a year ago, I came to a realization where I was trying to change my life and I wanted to be more assertive, more confident, and start putting me first, that I realized I wasn't afraid of saying no. I was afraid of what was going to happen after saying no. Someone's reaction to me standing firm and either not tolerating something or saying, no, I don't want to do that, or no, I can't do that. That's the part that I was worried about. And so many of us, that's the very reason that we can't do what feels good to us. Now, the realization about worrying about what happens next, that whole piece is around how somebody is going to react to that. Someone's disappointment, someone's anger. They might see me differently, feel differently about me. Or I could lose somebody completely. They might not want to be around me if I'm not supporting and being agreeable in the same way that perhaps I used to be. But there's a worse part about this that not many of us speak about. Every time we abandon what we want to do and we say yes, instead of saying no, or we put up with something that we shouldn't be making allowances for, we lose a piece of ourselves and we start not feeling great about who we are. I remember in my own experiences, I felt weak, I felt pathetic. I started to, perhaps on a subconscious level to begin with, but I started to resent the person, and it was my own doing. Now, I realised when things started to change for me, there was a realisation that there's two types of kindness. So when we're being kind and saying yes to something, there's the kindness that comes from choice, so us genuinely wanting to do it. And then there's kindness that comes from fear. We do it because we're scared of the consequences of not doing it. Now, this is where everything changed for me, and I'm hoping it's going to help people out there. Because if we continue to go through life putting everybody else's needs and wants before ours, we will never get to the place that we're looking to arrive to. One where we are leading our life, leading ourselves, and creating the life that we truly want. I decided that every time I was fronted with somebody asking me to do something, or I had a dilemma about whether I should tolerate something in my life, I would pause and ask myself, am I saying yes to this because I want to, and I want to show that level of kindness and be agreeable because it's a genuine choice to? Or am I doing this because I don't want to let the other person down? I don't want them to feel bad. And in those moments, to begin with, I felt a little bit cold, a little bit selfish, a little bit cruel, but it's only because I was uncomfortable in doing it, and that soon dissipated. I wasn't becoming cruel, I wasn't becoming cold, and I wasn't becoming selfish. I was becoming honest. I set boundaries. I gave when I wanted to. I said no when I didn't want to. And although I could forgive things, I would adjust access that somebody had to me if they had done something that I shouldn't be tolerating going forward. And in doing that, the thing that surprised me most isn't just that I was setting boundaries and standing up for myself and advocating for what and who was in my space and what I would put up with and what I wouldn't. I started to change the relationship I had with myself. So let me explain that. there was an immense, which sounds crazy now to speak of, but there was an immense level of pride that I had in myself for advocating for myself, for saying no when I didn't want to do something, or for saying, no, I'm not going to put up with that. I felt confident, I felt assertive. And one of the most beautiful things, I don't know why I'm getting emotional now, but one of the most beautiful things I felt was I really liked myself. I didn't realise how all those years of putting other people first and not doing what I wanted to do and not speaking up for myself was making me, on some kind of subconscious level, not like myself very much. I started to like the person I was becoming. And I started to gain this level of self-respect I'd never had before. Now, here's the other thing people don't talk about. When you set boundaries and when you start putting yourself first, in a kind way, but you are putting yourself first, there are two types of people that will expose themselves. Now, the first, which is the nice bit, are the people that genuinely care about you. Because the people that care about you will love what you're doing for yourself. They want you to put yourself first. They want you to be happy, and they want you to, on a day-to-day basis, do the things that make you feel good. But there is a second camp of people. And now I see the second camp of people as a gift I gave myself. There is the camp of people that will expose themselves in the sense of you will either start to feel distance from them when you start saying no a bit more often, or they will disappear from your life completely. My circle became a lot smaller, and it's upsetting, but who wants to be surrounded by people or have people in our lives that are only there because actually we're feeding into their agenda or we're giving them something and it suits them, even though it means that we're not doing what we want to do for ourselves. And it's those very people that will show you why boundaries are needed in the first place. So here's something that I want you to do for yourselves, which helped me, is helping others. And I think if you try it a few times, you'll be very surprised in what happens. The next time somebody asks something of you, ask yourself this one question. If I didn't think about how they might react to me saying yes or no, and if I didn't worry about feeling bad or feeling guilty, would I still do it? If the answer is yes, beautiful, go ahead and do it. If the answer is no, please recognise in that moment, by saying yes when you don't want to, or tolerating something that you know deep down you don't want to, you are eroding at your own self-worth, your own value, and your own self-respect. And over time, no one wins, because you end up not liking yourself very much for it, and you end up resenting that other person. In that moment, ask yourself that question. If I was not worried about the consequence of how they might react to it, or how bad I might feel because I'm not used to doing it, would I want this for myself? Now, if something in this video made you question some things, please subscribe, because this is just one of the small aspects I'm going to be talking about and having conversations about that are part of what I call the 4-step reset. They're the 4 steps I took in my life, every pocket of my life, my friendships, my family, my work, my personal life, that completely changed the person I am today. A year ago, I would not be sat here with a level of confidence and a level of genuinely wanting to help people to see things from a different perspective. And the only reason I am here is because it's made such a difference in my life. And it's already helping other people do the same. And if I can make or help people see that there is a different way forward, then that is what I'm going to try and do. And if you want to take it deeper and you want to understand what the 4-step reset is about, the book is available on Amazon. There's information in the description box, and there's lots of information on the website. For those of you that haven't seen me before, my name's Salima. I'm the proud founder of Shared Sanctuary Collective. And all the work that I do here is for people that feel stuck in life, aren't truly happy, don't feel like they have control, and maybe don't realise there is another way. So if I can leave you with one thought today, if any of those things described you, life doesn't have to stay this way.